Made it to Arrowhead, home of the best football team. We over here parked in the Chargers. Of course, you got two ice cars blocking couple, and one doesn't work. So, yeah, there are always jerks everywhere. So now we gotta go to the pro shop, and then we'll go and take our tour.
How Lamar Hunt created what was now known as the AFC, but back then was the AFL, the American Football League, back when the NFL told him he wouldn't join. So there's a lot of history and a lot of pictures in here about kind of that journey that goes all the way up until about 2010 might be the latest year of stuff in there. You guys can take a few minutes to look at here. I don't believe we have any more that we're waiting on, but we'll wait just another minute or two, and then we will go ahead and work our way up to the suite club level, and we'll get started from there.
Cool.
That's why when they expanded, they needed to use it. Il faut, il n'y a pas été capable de joindre un effet, fait qu'il n'y a pas de Pas que c'est peut-être avant. Pas 159.
This is some super upscale
Sweets.
sweets.
This is club level that we see.
Probably never have enough money to
It'd be interesting if we find the same artist painting here.
That's what I'm looking for. Seeing
Of the art pieces we had from him.
Those are cool. Old board games.
The painted cow.
Oh, there's some Thomas Arbit.
Honor, kind of like a Chiefs own version of the Hall of Fame. What we've got in here is a bunch of the statues. If you're a really good Chiefs player, coach, or owner, you kind of get your statue placed up in here. You have to be retired at least 5 years. That's also the same names you'll see up in the Ring of Honor when we go out to the stadium. We only induct one every single year, so that's kind of a big dilemma thing. What are they going to do when they run out of room on the inside of the stadium, you know? But hopefully that lasts us another 10 years. We've got the Super Bowl trophies, Super Bowl rings in here. This is all about a year old, as well as some of the touch screens you can interact with, see a lot of Chiefs history stuff. And then on the far end, there's a Lamar Hunt nook that starts a whole lot about how the AFL started, merged into the Dallas Texans, and coming over here to the Kansas City Chiefs. We will start in here for about 5 or 10 minutes to look around, and then we'll go down to the field and watch it. Yep.
Which doesn't matter.
Oh, that depends.
Which one is that? Right there. Number 88.
Oh, Linda Olsen. Tamba Holly. I always thought they should rename Mamba for some time for
Tamba Holly, yes.
after him. Ed, my dad liked to make fun of him.
Oh my God.
Butterfingers, he used to call him.
running back. You know, the thing is that, like you said, the uniform really hasn't changed at all.
This is from 1969. It's a little old. Mahomes wasn't even born.
Okay. So he played 2019. So first of all,
Christian.
Christian Okoye,
Yeah, yeah, it will.
Met him.
the Nigerian. Is that what his name was? His name was?
Oh, there's another. Jack Brendy was 58 center. I didn't know that.
Oh, same number as Derek.
Yeah.
teach me more football stuff. Oh, coach.
Jan Stewart. Name swimmer.
Teach me all the football.
Hank Strand. Ben Dawson. Otis Taylor. Holy
See,
cow,
almost
this must be municipal stadium, yep. Seats.
It's funny that they would call the Dallas Texans, huh? Oh, Tony DePardo.
The Super Bowl. With the Super Bowl next to it.
Oh, that was what he's named.
Yeah, that's how it got named.
Meet the Red Coaters.
Schottenheimer.
How the Super Bowl got its name.
Eric Thomas.
Montana. J.J. Burden. Remember him?
No, I don't.
I do. The receiver. Will Shields.
Will Shields, I remember Will Shields. Oh, look at the little Westwood Tiger shirt. That's so cute. He was
Trent Green.
Yeah, he was a really good quarterback. I mean, he wasn't.
Dan Saimua.
I remember Dan Silly. I can't pronounce it, but I
Saimua.
remember him. I do remember that.
And
name.
Marcus Allen. Oh, there's Hank on the video board over there. Famous plays.
Dallas Texans. American Football League champions.
American Football League 69 champions. And here they are.
Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, these are the two Super Bowl trophies.
Look at the ring, the difference in the rings over the years.
Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, how big is your finger going to have to be to actually fit that on there?
That's what I'm thinking. They have to have,
I mean,
Well, have you seen the size of their hands?
That's
well,
at
that
least,
is true.
That's at least that's at least a realistic ring size. That's just.
Like I said, have you seen their size of their hands?
Yeah, I
They're
know,
huge.
I know,
That's Patrick Mahomes' ring, I'm pretty sure.
I think that does it say it on his
Oh,
name?
maybe.
It's probably one of the staff.
CEO.
Oh, dang, is it big?
Don't you think
That's Clark.
Don't you think that Patrick Mahomes has
Yeah,
his
he
ring
has
of
his
his own? Yeah, I don't think that.
I wouldn't put it on display. I'd be wearing it right now.
Super Bowl one, we lost. Dang Green Bay.
The Boston Patriots.
Yeah, here they are, Boston Patriots.
Yeah. Everybody else is the same, except for them. Well, Oakland Raiders, not anymore. Oh, it's the Houston Oilers. See, there's the helmets that I used to love. The Denver Broncos.
The original owners that started the AFL.
In the AFL, yeah.
Yours?
I'm gonna go front row. I also get the front row first question.
So after every game, we're in here?
Is this the press conference room? As well as
Press room, Continue to recognize the.
Yes, the background, yes. I'm regular with that. Mine was just a question, just confirming. That's what it was.
All right, cool. So we are in the press conference room. It is fairly new and fairly renovated. When they built Arrowhead Stadium in 1972, from about 1972 to 2007, 8, maybe 2009, it used to be, this was the main team room. So they would have a bunch of those wooden flop over desks where all the offensive players would sit in the front, defense would sit in the back. They'd have a really old projector they'd throw up here and watch film, talk about practice, watch their opponents, strategize, all that sort of stuff, and then would actually practice down here on the actual field. So I think it's pretty cool to think about any player, coach from that span was pretty much in here every single day. Derek Thomas and all those greats as well. But they did eventually renovate it. They've got these magical microphones that are hanging from the ceiling now, so somebody with a little handheld doesn't have to run all the way to the back every time somebody's got a question. But after every single home game, Andy Reid comes up here, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, usually some of the other coaches or players if they have a really big game or break some sort of record, and they have about 5 to 10 minutes where they just rapid fire, try to answer as many questions as they can before they just move in and out that door over here. But if you ever see this backdrop behind any of the players or coaches, this one that's got the Chiefs logo, GEHA, and then the smaller one that says GEHA Field at Arrowhead, it is specific and unique only to this room. So if you ever see it behind anybody, you've been in the exact same room that press conference was happening. They've got 2 more like it too. One of them that will have the Chiefs logo, and then University of Kansas Health Systems. That is over at the practice facility where they're at about 99% of the time. And then they've got one other that'll say training camp sponsored by Mosaic, and that is up in St. Joe where they have their training camp every year. Other than that, this is usually about the normal number of chairs in here for regular season. Now when it comes to playoffs, there are people standing and sitting in the corners, and I mean it's packed beyond belief. In the back you can see they still got some of the tripods. The one in the middle always belongs to the Chiefs production crew, which is 65 horsepower trap, and then it looks like there's another one back there, but they'll usually tape it off in terms of which media crew sits where. So it might be ESPN and then CBS or Fox or MSNBC, Kansas City Star, whatever that might be. And then they've got an extra one hanging from the ceiling, and that is just so ESPN couldn't make it or something, they'll always provide a digital copy, the Chiefs will, from that one. They also added, when they renovated everything, this one-way glass / mirror here. You can still kind of see through it in some areas, but what that leads to is the locker room club. And if you're really fancy and got really expensive suite tickets, you're able to go in there. And what its purpose is, you can watch the players come in and out of the locker room way early in pregame, halftime, before and after, and as well as after the game. Travis Kelce usually always comes by and gives everybody high fives and gives away a pair of gloves. Mahomes started giving away his sweaty headband now. That's like a thing everybody sticks around and tries to get. I have no idea why. And then if they're really ambitious, they can stick around even further after that, their little grace period after the game. And they're supposed to be able to see in really well and watch the press conference if they want to, and that's not really be distracted by anything that's going on out there. But I'm going to go ahead and dim these lights overhead. We'll turn off, sometimes usually all the way. And they've got some brighter stadium-looking ones that are up in the corner by the stage. And they can turn those on when they actually do start an interview. Makes it look really bright up there. Look all cute, pretty for the camera, whatever they're trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
And then the mic is usually always on. Anybody want to come up here and get interviewed? Shy group? Semi, kind of. Do you guys have any questions about anything?
There's nothing wrong with the camera. The lights are red in here. Kind of cool. See where we're going.
I take it. Yeah, I take it. Mine's not that easy. We need to get 2 more light bulbs up in my sleeves. Yeah. Oh, I knew they were. Oh, did you?
What if I like Well, Mahomes the famous one.
All right, guys, go ahead and make your way over here. I'll show you a little bit about the new locker room and whatnot. We'll have to go over some of the rules, sadly. But this locker room, when it was built in 1972, the same wooden lockers they put in here that year, they used for like 47 or 48 years before they finally renovated it, which was just this last off season before this season started. So they kicked the players out for a little bit before last year started. They surprised them. They came in with everything was new renovated. It wasn't the old wooden lockers with the little like bar stools that were in front of them that were never even. They've got a whole lot more storage in here now. So their duffels, bags, and whatnot, other shower shoes can go underneath. The seats all come up. The backrest have lights that turn on only when you open them. Where they store their other showers and other, like, I guess, dirty laundry bags and stuff there. All the headrests will slide out. They store a lot of really important stuff in there, like deodorant, right? So they don't smell bad. They've also got one of these things that's called a shark. It's still in there. I might have taken it out. But on top of that, they all have these little slide-out closets. Anything that you see them wearing, like pregame, jumpsuits, any extra clothes that they bring when they try to look all fancy, these all slide out.
Nice.
So they can hang up their clothes in there. They've got a bunch of extra socks, gloves, cleats, stuff like that. And then probably my favorite part is they've all got a hidden little jewelry box that comes down, just like this. So they can store all of their jewelry, their bling, phone, wallet, keys, Super Bowl rings, right? And then that little compartment over there on the left that you see, they can actually turn all these lockers on. And if their phone case isn't too bulky, they can put their phone in there, and when they run around down there on the field and shut it, they'll actually charge their phone for them. So that is pretty neat. They always got to stay on top of that. Andy Reid's very specific about where everybody sits, so they kind of put them together in a position group. You can kind of draw a line right down the middle where it's all the offense on one side and defense on the other. So it's the quarterbacks, running backs behind me, offensive line down this wall. The punter and kicker, the long snapper, or the specialists are down there in the corner after the Colts game, obviously. And then behind you will be the wide receivers and tight ends with all the defense on the other side. The only person I've heard of getting special treatment about where their locker's at is Travis Kelce. And if you guys have ever seen him show up on game day in what looks like a $10,000 fur coat and the fanciest pants and shoes you've ever seen in your life, Apparently he tries to look so snazzy both before and after the game. All of his clothes don't fit in his locker, so they stuck him in the locker closer to where these empty ones are, where the injured reserve people have to share theirs and not bring as much stuff because they're not dressing out. So he can put all of his clothes in there and reserve his actual football locker for just his football stuff. Other than that, they don't really watch TV up here. They just use it as a big schedule board. It'll coordinate with one of the 2 clocks up there that just serves as a countdown clock. And with that, the last thing, there's a right tackle to play for the Chiefs Wild Gales. His name is Mitchell Schwartz. And they said he had the biggest pair of shoes they had
Oh my
seen
gosh.
in quite some time.
What size are they?
Yeah, what size are
What
they?
size do you think?
22.
20. I was going to say 20.
Yep.
That's Shaquille O'Neal's
Size
size.
20.
Did
Just
you put
about.
your foot next to it? He's a,
So we are really close to the game.
I mean, he's a 14.
Let's just make sure that we're not opening and looking in all the lockers. I can show you that if you need to, but just some of their personal stuff might be in there because we're just about 48
put
hours
2 of your
away.
feet in there.
And then those back hallways lead back into the bathrooms and showers. We're not really allowed to go back there either. There is one door over there that says pool room, but sadly it's not like a pool table or a pool that you jump into. It's just a bunch of hot and cold tubs they use for rehab. But other than that, you guys can look around and take as many pictures as you want before we go down to the field.
You want to take some pictures?
How come they don't have it?
So they're all over.
Don't open it. He said don't open it.
Oh, he didn't say open? Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
If you want to open, he said he will open it for you.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
Stallworth. They just brought him up like a couple days ago.
Oh.
Stallworth.
Oh.
Here's the rookie.
George Karloftis?
Yes, actually, that's pretty good. You said it right. This is the rookie that ran it back for a touchdown that one game.
Oh, yeah.
A really good linebacker, Nick Bolton.
All mine had in mind.
The only thing I found
Juju's more of a slot guy, with the cuts and things like that. Kelsey's just big and physical, and you throw it to him and he will come down with it. McCole Hardman, is more of an outside guy. They really don't have like a, this guy's the best at everything the way the Raiders have with Devontae, or it's more each receiver is specialized. But Travis Kelsey's stats.
Would you get fired if I got one of those protein bars?
Would you get fired if you grabbed one of those protein?
I wouldn't want to find out. If you don't mind, I'm hungry too. But. All right, so where we're gonna go, this tunnel leads over to the big, what they call the E tunnel. That is where the players, how they get into the stadium, but it's where they do their big introductions, like pregame, when they shoot up the smoke now, because we can't do flames and all that stuff anymore. We're also going to pass, you'll see just to our left before we take a right is the post-team conference room for the opposing team. You can see how little the storage closet is. Every time we try to beat Brady or Russell Wilson or any of those guys, we stick them in that closet. And then there's just one rule when we get down there to the field. We got to just stay on the red track that goes around it. They actually just painted it today, so we just got to make sure we don't step on the grass at all. But we'll go down this tunnel over there in the corner. We'll walk around to about the 50. You guys can take plenty of pictures, and I'll tell you about it there. But that's just one thing we got to stay off of is the grass.
Okay.
Can't get on the grass.
I've been on the grass.
Yeah, I don't know what they were. I don't know what he was saying. Left it.
Up there is visiting post-team.
Keys.
Minute and a half.
Doors are actually open, so when you walk by, you got to peek in and see how nice our approach is.
We need to apply. We need to apply today.
They actually knocked out the wall back there.
That's the old car.
Visiting team.
What's this? That's what it used to
Yeah, that's what the old team over on Chiefs locker room looked like. Seats were right up there.
Yeah.
Right, 320 right there.
320, yeah.
Yeah. I was just saying that when we had season tickets, our tickets were right at the 320, right behind the Chief line. It was actually a great seat because it was right on the goal line. That must be the camera.
Shoot up the lanes, kind of like every team did when the players ran out of the field. They got their stacks like a little too close to these actual seats and marked a couple of them during the practice round. So all the tradition had to be moved up.
seats.
So we ended up putting our ground back out. I know what you're talking about. I don't remember which one it was. Yeah.
Announce the guy's name.
Here you go. You high five everybody on the way down.
More humble than yeah, that's what this
We're just in this room. That's the press room.
Yeah, I was gonna do it. There's a locker room.
Real quick.
It is
I mean,
They usually have it.
Well, I think Kansas City has the Chiefs football stadium.
They do anything wrong for you.
You what? Oh, Mom. Mom, look at this. Oh, my God. Mom, look at this.
The gates, like where the parking lots are getting Oh, it's like a little over an hour. Yep. Sometimes when it's gotten very packed, they open all this sooner. Like I think they actually did for the Sluts Raiders.
So that tail, that big party off the side. Big section. Other side? What is it? Is that open to public?
Oh, that's called the tailgate district. Yeah, you can't go in and out of there.
Until
They usually
4
got
hours before.
yes,
Or
exactly.
not until before, not about.
And I think the tailgate district is 3. I'm pretty sure 3 or 3.5. Yeah, it's falling down. But all of those buildings down there, the big barn building that's white that's got Chiefs on it, that's their indoor practice facility. That's where they got their indoor field, their outdoor fields, where the players eat, have meetings, weights, conditioning, training, all that stuff, as well as all the offices for all the people that actually work for the Chiefs, like Brett Beach, Andy Reid, head coach. They all have their offices over there in some spot too. And then this parking lot right here behind this tent-looking building called the chapel. This is where the players and coaches actually park on game day, and they walk over. There's a little bitty sign that says Arrowhead Overlook, and they walk down that tunnel, and that actually leads to the tunnel that we walked out of.
We were actually there.
You see all the fancy pictures of their outfits right when you get here. It's right there in that bucket. And probably.
We found some like really good ones.
Yes, the tunnel, that tunnel connects to the same tunnel that enters onto the field that we just. For making sure that.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, we were there for baseball.
My spot.
We could have come here and watched the game. The Amazon thing?
Up here?
I don't know if it was here.
I don't think it was here.
So this is you can buy one ticket up here, 2 or 3, buy a couple rows. Yeah. I don't know if it's that long, but there has been a waiting list. Yeah. And depending on how well the Chiefs are doing, it could be like $500 or $600 per ticket, up to $1,000 or more. But all the food and drink back here is all restaurant style, and it's all included as well. And they'll valet your car for you too. So you don't have to worry about parking. You can get here a couple hours before the game, eat and drink as much as you want until like an hour after the game. If you're really hungry or thirsty, you can make it worth it. If you think about it.
So, how much we, like 200 more and we could have been here? You don't need it, you already got that. That's great. Like the atmosphere.
Well, we're done with our tour. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. It was great. Yeah, Jennifer's not real thrilled because it took longer than she anticipated. But in reality, it took the right amount of time. Just want to show you one more thing before we leave. Lamar Hunt statue here. Each side has a saying from him, or about him. I don't know if you can make it out. You want to know, this is what what irritated, grumpy Jennifer looks like. You really haven't seen the real Jennifer yet. I'm holding this up because I want to see it on video. She is waiting until I put it up. It's a game of wills. Who will crack first? Across the parking lot is Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals. You know, the one that won the World Series year 2015. Seems like a distant memory.
I know.
One day it'll be back.
And 30 years from 2015. They seem to be on 30-year streaks.
I'm going to go now, so I'm going to get it in a minute.